Hello and welcome to a video overview of how to create and use word and image banks using Google Slides. So I have three examples today that I would like to show you first before I actually go over the process of creating these image and word banks. The first one that you'll see on my screen here is one about the states. So I have the state postal codes all right here for all 50 states. And then on the second slide, I have a map of the United States. So the directions I actually put down in the speaker notes area for students, and it tells the students copy and paste the state postal codes of each state from the slide above into the map on the next slide. So we have all 50 of the postal codes. So what students would do is they would click on one of these. So they could go in alphabetical order if they so choose, but they click on it, then they right click and do copy, go to slide 2, and then they would paste it onto the slide, and they would drag it to the state that it goes to. So Alabama's right over here, and then they would repeat that process for all of these. So I'll do one more. So I left clicked on the postal code. Let me left click on that one again. And then do copy, and then on slide 2, right click, do paste, and then drag that over to Alaska. Okay, and then we would keep doing that, and if they want to shrink this down a little, they have the ability to do that. Now they could have cut these instead of copied them, but then they wouldn't be here on this first slide anymore. So that's why I left the directions at copy them. That way, in case they need to go back for any of these, are still there on that first slide. If they cut them, then they would be gone. Okay. And they would continue that process until they filled up the map. So that's an example of a word bank using Google Slides. I'm going to show you a couple more quick examples. I have a fill in the blank. So here's a story, and it says read the story and use a word bank on slide 2 to complete it. So the word bank is down here with adjectives, verbs, and adverbs. And it tells the students in this blank they're going to put an adjective, and this one also an adjective. Down here's an adverb, and the source of this is down here for students. So I did not create this, but here's the source of it. So students would go to slide 2 in this case. They would click on the word that they want, copy it, and then paste it into the spot they want. Okay. Now what happens there is this isn't locked basically. So the fill in the blank is going to change a lot. So I'm going to undo that one and show you what to do for this type of fill in the blank. So you would want to, after you typed all of this out, select it all, then right click and go down to add to theme. Once you go down there, you're going to want to click on title slide. And what that will do is that basically locks it into place. So now it's not going to move around. So let me go back here. I'm going to pick this cheerful adjective. Sometimes you have to click on it a couple of times to make sure the copy. And remember, you can always do Control-C on your keyboard to copy that, or right click and copy. And then we're going to go ahead and right click and paste it on here. And now I can move it here, and it's not going to mess up these blank spots and make them go all over the place. Because essentially the whole story is locked with the blanks. And I did that again by selecting all of it and then right clicking on it and going down to add to theme and title slide. Okay, so that's a fill in the blank. The last one I wanted to show you real quickly is an image bank. So I have a build your own emoji image Google slideshow that I've made here. And then I have the title slide here. The directions are on the second slide. So it says copy and paste items from the following slides onto your blank emoji, which is actually on the third slide. So there's some more directions about to write a story about your emoji once you're done. and then you can download it as a picture when you're done if you'd so like. So I'm going to go down to the third slide. Here's the blank emoji, and I need to make this an actual emoji and then write a story about it here when I'm done. So I need some eyes for it. So on the fourth slide we have some eyes and eyewear. So I think I'll just pick these eyes. I selected it, go to copy, go back up to the third slide, right click, paste. Okay, and that's the thing about this one, it's not locked in place, so you would have to make sure you select the right one and then drag it into place. I want a mouth for it, so I go down to the fifth slide, and I think I'll pick this one, copy it, go back here, I'll paste it out here, and then just drag it into place. Okay, and I can resize it if I think that's too big. And I would continue working on it. I can put some arms on my emoji, some legs, some feet, and then there's some props here, some extra items that I could include. Okay, and then when I'm done, I would type in here, erase this and write a story about the emoji. Okay, and put my name on here as a student as well. So that's an image bank. So the way you create these is basically you would start a new slide, show. So I'm going to go to File, New, and remember Google Slides is also known as Presentation in your Google Drive, so we'll click on Presentation. Okay, and I'm going to show you really quickly how I created the States one. So up here we want to name it right away, so just call it State Image Bank or State Image / Word Bank. And I'm going to need two slides, one for the postal codes, and then I'm going to also need another slide for the actual image or the map of the United States. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of these text boxes since I don't need them. I need an image of the US. And on this first one, I'm going to put in the directions and then the postal codes. So what I would do is I would just draw a text box, and I won't do all of them, but we'll just kind of do AL for Alabama, then repeat that process, do another text box, AK for Alaska, go up here to the text box tool, AZ for Arizona, and continue that process until you have all 50. On slide 2, we need an image of the US. So we could go up to the Insert menu and then go down to Image, do a search for a blank map of the United States, and select this one, and then it inserts it. The only downside of you doing it this way, though, is when I do select one of these state postal codes and put it in, this map is not locked, so it could move around. See how Alabama's now over Mississippi? So what I could do is I would probably want to lock it in place beforehand. And the way to do that is to right-click on your slide, go down to Change Background, and we're going to choose Image. And we'll do a search again. We'll just type blank map of US. And there it is. We select it, press Done, and now see it doesn't move when I click and try to drag it. It has become basically embedded into that slide. It is a part of it. It's locked in place. So now I could go ahead and click on Alabama, copy it, paste it, and drag it over to the correct spot. So that's how to create one of these image or word banks. Once you've created it, you're going to want your students to be able to use it. So the way they're going to use it is you have to go up to the share button, because right now it's private only to me. Go to Advanced, change it to anyone with the link, and leave it at Can View, and press Save. Then you're going to want to grab this link up here, copy it, and then paste that into your Architect web page, or you could paste it into your learning management system, Canvas. And if you're using Google Classroom, instead of sharing it with your students this way, you could go ahead and create an assignment and make a copy for each student in Google Classroom. And then students, once they open this, if this was, for example, on my Architect web page and I created a link there, once students got and clicked on that link, I'm just going to go ahead and paste it into a incognito tab so that you can see what students would see. And obviously I didn't complete this one, but they would see this, but they wouldn't be able to do anything to it. So they need their own copy of it. So they would go up to File, and then Make a Copy. And right now Make a Copy is grayed out, but that's because I'm not logged into my email. So in this new window. So students would have to sign into their student email account, and then they would be able to edit it, and they would be able to put in all the state codes right over this map. So that is basically how you create a word bank or image bank using Google Slides. Thank you for watching.